Hey, welcome. I'm Walker. This is I think in addition to that last reading I did, this isn't going to be talking about that though. There was little random messages that were coming through that kind of had nothing to do with that creature that I think I'm going to pull on. I got a note about Tammy Roman from the real world, or I knew her from the real world cuz I'm 45. But just to answer your question, so the way I perceive your abuser with how he could kind of move freely, etherically, like an energy vampire. That's how I view him, as like an energy vampire. Someone who came here to do that, under normal circumstances. Anyway, so low level, meaning that he wouldn't have, meaning that I don't recognize him. Like I don't recognize him, but I recognize what he is. And how he moves, they all move the same. And yeah, telling me he's gonna curb stomp me was probably not the best idea. And he's racist and disturbed, whoever that person is. They are very disturbed. So, congratulations. It's like you're going up against someone who's there are more victims than just you. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna mention about that. Moving away, there was a message that was kind of like Tabby Roman has a message. So I was like, all right. The first thing that came, Tammy Roman, I knew her from the real world. Okay, so she's a celebrity figure in the United States. Been on a bunch of reality shows, but I knew her from the 90s. She was in the original reality TV show called The Real World, okay, if you're young. But she was very young and beautiful and physically fit, and she, on the show, had her mouth wired shut because she felt like she ate too much and she was trying to control her diet and her weight, and everyone was like, what the, whatever. And she actually did an interview years and years later looking back on it after growing up and becoming more mature and going through therapy and everything like that. And she kind of came to the conclusion that she had something called body dysmorphia. And that it was a real struggle for her. Not necessarily, like looking back on it, she realizes that she wasn't really struggling with her weight. She was struggling with body dysmorphia. And so there's something that you can apply there. But what came through was there was a connection to the abuser and when it happened and when you were feeling vulnerable. And in her case, she was, in reality, she was sexually assaulted on television. One of the guys in the house was joking around and she was in her underwear with a blanket around her and he was pranking her by pulling the blanket off of her, and she was like holding it, and this is on TV, the cameras are on, it's not like they could be like, cut the camera, dead ass or whatever, no. It was on all the time, and she was screaming, stop, 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 and he was like laughing and tearing down the hall with it and everything like that. So she was already struggling with this body dysmorphia, if I'm saying that correctly, and feeling like she was overweight and so vulnerable to be on camera and feeling sensitive about it and already abused in other ways in her life that she didn't really talk about until later. And that happened. And it was supposed to be a joke and she was supposed to be okay with it. And he was, at the time, it was like she froze up and she was screaming. And he's like, but you were laughing. We were all having a good time. Ha 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 ha. Or whatever. It was like not just traumatizing for her entire life, but it was almost like the devil chose that guy in that moment to attack her in a way that was totally humiliating. mind, body, and soul. And he never saw it like that. They even went back years later. They even went back years later, like the reunion, and they tried to talk about it. His name was David. This is totally public. And he still didn't get it. Like, he had the opportunity to be like, I was so wrong for that, and I'm sorry. And she was a bigger person than I think I could have been, giving him the chance to apologize and saying, not only did you never apologize, but over the years you made a joke out of it and played the victim when, from his point of view, he was victimized after that and his career was over. Like he was the victim or whatever. But face to face, it was really hard as she was confronting him to see him as anything but a gaslighter, because he just tried to turn it around. Everything she said, he turned it around. Everything was not his fault. It was everybody else. Everyone else was laughing. That's what he did. But they were having fun. You were laughing. They were laughing. Nobody told me no. So it was unfortunate. It was really unfortunate to see years later that she did something that she didn't have to do as a divine feminine, not just to stand up for herself, but other women who could be going through that same thing, maybe very publicly. Okay, so there could be something very humiliating that you are going through publicly, and there is absolutely some sort of a spiritual connection to this body dysmorphia that's being like a matrix grid program over you to squash you. And whoever your abuser was is never, ever, not even 20 years from now, I don't think, going to be able to look you in the eye and say, I was wrong for that, I did that. And that's unfortunate for them. But whatever you are doing, it's like you have chosen freedom. You've done the hard work, okay? You planted the seeds. You watered them. Okay, you are kind of being asked to rest this week. If you feel backed into a corner like you need to make a decision, you don't need to make a decision. You're so much more beautiful than you think you are. It's like this low-level demon that attacked you. He sees himself as way much more beautiful and powerful than he is. I see what's happening here. I'm a little slow. Okay. It's, he was trying to yin to your yang, but he can't yin to your yang because he's like 6 feet under in the spiritual realm, and he just happened to escape, like the only way that he could do that is was trying to force what he really was onto you. Okay, so he's not as like he thinks himself as bigger, more powerful, more handsome, more wealthy, like he's what he said about curb stomping me, and he said some weird racist stuff in there. That might be, I don't know. It's almost like he keyed in to see what would piss me off. And there's a lot of history with that here in the United States. I'm not sure where y'all are from, but that's a touchy subject. You talk about curb stomping and N-words, and I'm gonna probably not leave it alone. And I think he knew that. And so there's something about keying into you feeling vulnerable, about not feeling as beautiful as you are. So to come back around, it's like he's the shadow of your light, in that he thinks he's more powerful, beautiful, strong, popular. When he looks in the mirror, it's a delusion. He's under his own spell. And then it's the exact opposite. It's almost like you're this beautiful, powerful, amazing, just absolutely, you roll out of bed and you're gorgeous, and you have your entire life ahead of you to just roll out of bed and be gorgeous and abundant and powerful, and also in a position where you lead others. This is about us with you. It's never just me. It's never just about you. And this is a beautiful completion to your hero's journey, and it's coming up real quick. But it must be something that you needed to understand before. If this isn't literally a position of authority in a church or leadership, then it's marriage. I mean, 2 of Cups and the Hierophant. And this was something that just needed to be taken care of. And a connection to that was him zeroing in on you when you were feeling vulnerable or unattractive. And it was just at that right moment, wasn't it? Wasn't it? You're beautiful. You're more beautiful than you could ever imagine right now, because you're still kind of under that spell, body dysmorphia. You're not as overweight as you think you are, or you're not as skinny as you think you are, or whatever's being projected onto you. You're exactly who you need to be. You're beautiful. And if there could be more health there, yeah, they're good. You've had this like demonic parasite like smothering you just wherever you go, whatever you do. And it's going to feel a lot lighter. They have a chance to kind of turn themselves in. If they ever really did have love for you, like, I don't know, this person's demented. No. It's like the other guy. It's just only going to be a victim for the rest of his life. But you're in a position of dominion, of authority, to be able to really, really, really love yourself. That's all you're being asked to do this week. And if you're going forward with something official like courts, maybe paperwork, look at these guys. They're going to be on your side. They're going to have your back. This guy's got a total... he told a bad story. You said the truth. And he came in with an absolute, what's gobshite? Gobshite story? He's his own worst enemy. This is the kind of guy that's going to try and like be his own attorney in court and just make a complete fucking ass of himself. It's the Tower and it's coming in quick. He thinks he's mad now. He thinks he's sad now. He ain't seen nothing yet. And that's the truth. Spirit's got a few tricks up their sleeve. Don't you worry about that. In the meantime, you're going to rest. You're not going to be forced to make a decision with anything this week. Look at this. This is you completing a very impossible task. And you're also being asked to love yourself after being abused. But it's like, think of it this way. Your worst fears came true. And you lived to tell the tale. And something about that book that girl, is it Jeanette McCurdy, where she wrote, I'm glad my mom's dead, or something? I'm happy my mom's dead. She had a stage mom. There's going to be a maternal figure that was abusive to you in your life that's going to die this week, and it's going to be really good news to you. It's just going to like make your day brighter. You're just going to get all this really great news. Okay, so rest up. That one doesn't understand how over it is for him. Okay, your ships are coming in. You will be able to harvest and live off of what it is you were born to do, which is be a leader, be a healer in your beautiful, loving energy. And make your magic happen. You're so magical. You're going to actually be given an opportunity to live the life you were born to live as a walking earth angel. And I love that. I live. So understand that there might be an element of body dysmorphia there. So if you look in the mirror, remind yourself how gorgeous you are. Think of how proud your ancestors are. You are a love child. You were, even if you were stolen away in the spirit realm like a little fairy and taken somewhere dark. You are a love child. You couldn't be this otherwise. And after all of this mess, you remember, you see it, and that's when your true mate comes in. But for this week, if you have to be alone, be alone. If you need to be staunch, be staunch. Enjoy. Eat at least one healthy thing a day, if you can. And the rest is going to fall like dominoes. I live. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. You don't even have time for this, but don't worry about that snake. He got other things coming. This is you, happy, smiley baby in the sun. You will get a settlement. It's going to be yours and yours alone. And there will be soul tribe there rooting you on. Oh my God, I love this for you. Okay, no worries. No worries. If you have a best friend that you can cry on their shoulder, so it's like, no, I don't really want to be alone. It's the friend that you can trust. They're always crying on your shoulder, everyone, and it's okay to cry on someone else's too, you know, as long as you trust them, there is that person. And I do feel like there's a big fat settlement coming in because this loser's about to make a complete ass of himself. So you have that to look forward to, and evil maternal figure who probably shouldn't be walking the earth either, that caused you a lot of problems behind the scenes. So don't worry about it. Don't focus on it. Stay rested up. If you feel like sleeping in, sleep in. Drink twice as much water. And remember, you're 10 times as beautiful as you think you are when you look in the mirror. And you might look back at this time like Tammy Roman did and be like, wow, I was stunning. I was stunning. I was the most gorgeous girl in the room. No wonder he attacked. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. Big fat hugs from me to you. Sorry I lost my temper in that last one. I don't like that curb stomping shit. But anyway, have a beautiful day. I think you will. See you for the next one. Bye-bye. I'm Walker. This is Dance Walker Tarot. And this was an impromptu add-on to that last, whatever that was. See you for the next one. Bye-bye.